stop talking to get my gear on, maybe?
Want your hood sit down?
Like that. Does it look cool? Sorry.
Sorry. I wasn't able to get video the first time around, so we need some video this time around.
Take pictures of our beautiful face.
Philip, have they been gear checked?
Well, I mean, one of them has. I hope they did their own buddy checks.
I'm a professional. I always do a
High five, Fab. Good job.
Yeah. So it's a free-for-all this time. Everyone's going in together.
We could soundtrack.
So back to the tree.
Yeah, we
Go for it, guys.
Hey. All right.
Go, go, go. Oh, God. Jumping backwards when there are people in the water behind you scares me a lot. Are we clear?
Hold
Yeah,
on,
we
I got
got
2 more.
2 more in deck if you want to drop them. Why not? Go for it. Good stuff. Clear. Clear. 10,
The other side though, like where I saw you guys, like
Yeah.
there's the one.
So Diane,
Yes.
just tell Bob or Shane to put
Yeah.
tank.
I gotta take my rag out.
I saw so many people down there. I'm not sure when I saw you.
Putting everybody in at 11.
Okay. I'm
More
gonna
than
do a
likely,
second dive.
most people I saw were at
Take my rag off.
the temperature log, there should be something in which is the closer spot.
Yeah.
Funny, I was going to bring...
About how the dive went for you and what you managed to do underwater?
Okay,
well, let
if
me
you want to
just
hang on for a
think
second, I'll
for a
get some for you.
Okay.
I've been
Okay, well,
just told.
yeah, so we went down in 4 teams of divers, 3 teams of 4, and 1 team of 2 photographers. First team went down and we set up the tape measure between the 2 tree locations, did some measurements, and made sure the flags were in place for the divers that came right after us. That was team 2, and they came down and they put the tree in the first location, and their job was done. And then the 3rd team came down and they found the tree, followed the line that we had left there for them, and plugged in the next tree, and that went in. The second tree is the one that went into the bioherm. Though they did hit rock, actually, when they went down, but there is some growth on the rock bioherm. And the first one was the one closest to the temperature logger, and that's in an area that's quite bare. And what we're doing is we're comparing the two of them, the larval settlement on the lakes that are set up in the trees between the two locations. And then the photographers went down finally, and they went out and got some photos of the whole deal. And that was it.
Very good.
Any questions? Anything I missed?
No, what depths were you working at mostly on your dive?
It was pretty deep, about 110 feet. Yeah, 105 to 110.
And how did the sponge look today?
Yeah, you might as well.
Beautiful.
Was the visibility reasonably good?
The visibility was okay. It was maybe, I don't know, 15 feet. It was.
Got the fuel, fuel
It was
engaged?
good enough to work in, for sure. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. That was important. So could you tell me a little bit about your dive today and how it went?
Yes, I located both of the settling plate trees, and I took photographs of them, and I got a quillback who was actually looking at one of the trees. I got photographs from pretty much all angles on both of the trees. And by the time I finished photographing the trees, it was time for me to come up. So I didn't really get a chance to take a lot of pictures. However, I did count about 4 different lingcod egg masses. I took pictures of the ones that I could. There were also several tanner crabs mating, sets of tanner crabs mating. And yeah, it was a nice dive.
Were the lingcod eggs masses on the sponge?
3 of them were. One of them was next to the sponge. It looked like it had actually rolled off.
And what kind of visibility did you see underwater?
Well, I was the last group in, and my visibility was probably about 30 to 40 feet. I think it was pretty good. Yeah.
And what depth did you hit on the dive?
I hit 106.
106.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell me about your dive today and what you were doing.
We were setting in the tree, the temperature, not temperature tree, settling plate tree, right beside the temperature logger on our dive. Our 4 team members and me. It was good.
Good. And how did the dive go?
It went really good, actually. We got down to the bottom, right on top of the pinnacle, where we set out to be, and then just headed straight north. And set in, found the other team, and then found the temperature logger. So it was good. As smooth as it could have went, I think.
That's good news. And what was the visibility like, Megan?
It was a bit murky on the way down. On the bottom, it was probably a good 10 meters or so, 15 meters, I would say.
Okay.
Maybe there's a lot of particles in the water though. Like it was not bad, but there was lots of stuff kind of floating around down there. Yeah, it was.
Okay. And what was your maximum depth?
We went to 32 meters.
Okay. And when you installed the tree, how far down into the substratum did it go?
It was between the 2 tape pieces that we put, so probably a good couple feet in, I would say. Then we kind of hit a harder spot, so there's
okay.
There. Yeah, so it's about, I would say, about 2 feet from where those plates come out. Is where we put it into.
Right, interesting. And how was the sponge today?
Oh, it was really good. Yeah, there's lots of lingcod down there and on their eggs and stuff, so yeah, it was great.
Lingcods in the sponge on eggs?
Yeah, there was one that had its eggs like right in the sponge.
Oh, that's kind of neat, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
And would you say the health of the sponge was reasonably good for what you've seen?
So, yeah, I think it was decent. Obviously, there's always those couple, the bottom half is maybe dead on some of them, but they're still growing on the top, which is good.
Yeah, great. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Adam, how did your dive go down there? What did you do?
The dive was great. The team went down. We deployed a settlement tree for our sponge larval settlement study. We were a little bit farther on the pinnacle than we thought when we deployed, so we crossed the pinnacle to the north onto where ridge dropped off, and then hooked back and found both locations for the settlement trees. Deployed the first location close to the temperature logger. Got some photo and video of the deployment and some of the sponge. I did note a fair bit of sponge damage down there.
Oh, you know when I go?
Shattered sponge, knocked over sponge, etc., which I didn't notice on the last visit out here. So it looks like some fishing damage. So
interesting.
But there are a number of lingcod guarding egg masses. It was quite positive to see. A number of rockfish. It was a very pleasant dive. And actually, I did notice it looks almost like algae on some of the sponges in the shallower portions of the reef, which I have not noticed before.
Did you manage to document the position of the settling trees?
Yeah, I got for the the farthest one, the tree wasn't in place, but the tape measure was. So I took video of the general location, then videoed back up the line to the first location, which will be the next to the temperature logger. And I got photos at the temperature logger, and I got video of the circuit, and then coming back up the pinnacle.
And what was the visibility like?
Visibility wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I guess it would probably be 40-ish feet. Does that sound right, guys? 40-ish? Yeah. It wasn't 20 and it wasn't 50.
And what depth did you?
We hit the pinnacle around 80-ish. We maxed out at 115 feet, and I forgot to double check the exact depth for the temperature logger. I would guess that the farther one would be at the 115, and the closer one will be at the temperature logger, which at this time was probably about the 105 to 110 foot range.
Tell me about your dive today and what you were doing.
It went very well. We went to go plant a tree down on the bioherb at about 110 feet, and we got it right next to the flag. A couple groups down there, so I'd say it went very well.
And what was your maximum depth on the dive?
110.
Okay, and what was the visibility like that you found?
Probably about 40-ish feet, like I was hearing over there.
Taking
right.
her up.
And how did you find leading the team? Did everything go smoothly?
Yeah, we hit our maximum depth. We were on the back side of the pinnacle, so we just had to circle around until we made it to that bald spot we were looking for, and then found the tape from there, saw the blinker, and that was it.
And the tree went in well?
About halfway.
About halfway, okay.
About halfway to our mark, not halfway.
And you hit rock then at that point?
Yeah, we tried to just a few different spots around the flag, but that was about as much as we could do.
Good, very good. Thank you.
Pleasure.